central bank digital currency is not your money, it is their money. Life savings, gone. They were able to label the people that they don't like as domestic terrorists, and you donated to their campaign. What happens? This teacher is adamant that she is going to teach your 5-year-old child about his genitalia and what he can and cannot do with it if he so chooses. His choice, not yours. You may not even be able to say anything. And if you did say something, gotcha. Hey guys, welcome back. I am Michael Mack and this is MacMan Crypto. Today's show, inflation or recession? What the hell's even going on? Plus, regulation comes to crypto. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Also, CBDCs, central bank digital currency. Is it the coin of the angel or is it the coin of the devil? We're going to have to figure that out pretty quickly. Also, stick around to the end of the show and I'm going to tell you my top 5 coins that I believe are going to weather this entire financial storm. That's coming up. Like everything else in the universe, it all comes down to perspective, and mine is right around the corner. Hang on. Guys, thanks so much for joining me today. You hate it. I hate saying it. If you could hit that like button and subscribe button, man, that would really help me a lot. And that's the only time I'm going to say it. So let's just jump right into it right now. Okay. So inflation, recession, what the heck is going on? So CPI numbers came out and the CPI says that's the consumer price index. It's basically taking things and putting them in a basket and saying, what did we pay for them last year to what are we paying for them this year? And that is showing basically how hot the economy is. And what the Fed did is what they're doing is they're trying to raise interest rates so we're less likely to buy things. Okay. And if we're less likely to buy things, that means the economy is going to start to slow down. That's what they want to happen because they believe that things are going up too fast, too quickly. They're trying to make us go broke. This is what they believe they have to do, and we're basically going to pay for it. But if you remember back in the virus days, they gave us money. We spent that money. So it was our money to begin with. It may not have been the smartest thing to do, and now we're paying for it. But if you look right here, Celsius discloses basically a $1.2 billion deficit, and they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Okay, a lot of people are just taking this and running with it and saying this is what's causing everything basically to collapse. If they can blame it on crypto, you know they will. Look at these other headlines. This crypto winter is unlike any downturn in the history of digital currencies. Here's why. Yeah, that's not dramatic at all, is it? But if you look down here, the collapse of the algorithmic stablecoin Terra USD and the contagion effect from the liquidation of hedge fund Three Arrows Capital highlighted how interconnected projects and companies were in the cycle. It's not so much that companies were interconnected as the human element was connected. Greed and a lack of patience, right? Crypto itself is going to give you all the returns that you need, but we couldn't wait because we were promised what? 50% APY, and we went for it because we want it. We want it now. This is of our own doing. Now, I feel bad for people that lost everything out there. I really do, because what a terrible situation to be in. It's got to be sickening. But if you bought crypto and you lost your money, but you still have the crypto, you're in pretty good shape. Now, if you do not have your coins, that is something that could be trouble. Now, this is why this started. Okay, we were talking about greed and stuff like that. One of the reasons why these collapses took place is because of the advertising, trying to get as many people as they could join my exchange, join me, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now they call it the crash, the great crash. Now think about this. Voyager Digital, they just collapsed basically. Okay. They had sports partnerships with the National Women's Soccer League and the NBA's Dallas Mavericks. I'm a Rockets fan, so screw the Mavericks. I like Cuban though. BlockFi last year paid the top NBA draft pick in Bitcoin. And then they found themselves in trouble. Blockchain.com brokered the first crypto deal with the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? And that didn't work out too well. Also, the exchange could lose $270 million to a defunct crypto hedge fund. Which one was that? Three Arrows Capital. They had no retail customers, okay? But it borrowed money from many crypto firms that did, such as Celsius and Voyager, both of which have totally collapsed. That was money that was largely made up of basically of customers putting their money in, depositing, investing, things like that. Three Arrows made a lot of risky bets with it. Risky bets, not solid bets. Okay, not foundational bets. And what happened was they lost hundreds of millions of dollars when these investment strategies of theirs went haywire. 200 million of it was in Terra Luna, and Terra Luna bottomed out because of that rat Do Kwon and arguably the greatest rug pull of all time. And that's exactly what it was. Don't let anybody tell you different. But when the Terra Luna cryptocurrencies crashed to zero, 3AC, Three Arrows Capital lost basically all their money and they couldn't pay anybody back. Now watch this. This is the best part. And I don't want you to miss this because I'm probably going to say it twice, but this is amazing. This is finance this is the microcosm of exactly who these people are. Watch. They asked the Three Arrows Capital founder, they asked him what happened. He said this, quote, "The Terra Luna situation, it caught us very much off guard." Unquote. Let me just say it again. Let me just try to be a little bit more dramatic with it. This is what the head guy of the second biggest rug pull of the year. And the reason I say rug pull is because these guys, they left. They scrammed. They didn't even stick around. Like you couldn't even get a hold of them. They just left like, hey, let's get out of here. I think they're coming, boy. Let's get our stuff. We gotta go because oh my God. Like they just left. Nobody can even find them. That's who these guys are. This guy's quote was this: "The Terra Luna situation caught us very much off guard. We didn't see that one coming." Really? Okay. Do you think they're suffering for money right now? Do you think that they don't have money in their bank account? Of course they do. Of course they do. So anyway, top lending firms, among them Genesis, Crypto Exchange, BlockFi, they basically had to liquidate all of their holdings from their $400 million straight out of 3AC's bank. So that resulting liquidity crisis left companies like Celsius and Voyager holding the bag. So they got nothing out of it. Suddenly, they didn't have enough liquidity to provide for their customers, so they froze withdrawals. Celsius was when they did that, scared everybody. Voyager went a step further and said, shut it all down. Just shut it all down. Froze everything. Now you have people with entire life savings gone. Now, but they're using this basically to tell us how much they need to regulate crypto. So we need to find out, is regulation for crypto, is that a good thing? I personally think that it is a good thing because once there's regulations, there's stability. And if there's stability, that's when all the big people start to come in. That's when the industries can start feeling like, you know what, we can put our money in this. We can start moving things around the world. So regulation overall, I think is a good thing. When Janet Yellen is involved in that regulation, I think it's a scary thing. Anyway, so Janet Yellen is overseas. She's over in Japan. She's talking to their leaders about inflation problems, things like that, and how they can basically kind of create a sustainable finance situation with crypto assets and stable coins. And they hate these stable coins, boy. But don't discount the fact that USDC might wind up being our stable coin over here. We'll see. Now, this is also something that's interesting. The Biden administration wants public opinion on a new digital asset executive order. So basically, they're coming to us to ask us, hey guys, what do y'all think about this? They're not asking us about anything down at the border. They're not asking us about whether or not, we should have a pipeline open. They're not asking us if we should just, drill here. They're not asking us, should we sell our reserves over to China, even though our reserves are now at the lowest they've been since 1986. The CPI numbers were the highest since 1981. And I love the freaking 80s. But you don't want to be in the year 2022 and have an economy like we were getting into back in the 80s. But they decided to ask us anyway. And so we should all be thankful. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Anyway, so the reason why they're doing this is because they are going to create a CBDC in the United States. Now, before they do that, they have to obviously get their instructions from the world, right? Now, you can love him or hate him, but there was one thing that Trump did not do when he was in office. I'll give him this. Donald Trump did not take his directions from the rest of the world. He gave them. So what I'm saying is this, love him or hate him, that dude walked into a room and everybody else, they backed up. Okay, period. That dude gave directions. He did not take them to his demise. But anyway, this financial board here is called the Financial Stability Board, right? Now, they're the Financial Stability Board. Now, the reason why this is important, take a look at this. They're an influential body that has a sizable impact on the economic affairs of G20 countries. So basically the biggest, most powerful countries in the world. These are the people that are basically saying to you, you need to regulate your finances like this. You need to take this approach to crypto. You need to take this approach to digital assets. Okay. And that sounds great. But like some of us that are, just like normal everyday people, we're kind of like saying, well, who the heck are you? Because if you're the Financial Stability Board of the world, then why are none of your countries, why are so many countries around the world unstable? See what I'm saying? So if your suggestions to be stable are making everything unstable, maybe your suggestions are not correct. So take a look at this. There's the Venezuelan currency, okay? You're talking about numbers like 400% inflation several years ago. 62% annual inflation rate. That's bad. Those are bad numbers. You don't have to know what it means. You just need to know it's bad, okay? Now, I want you to listen to this. This is very, very important. And I want you to see that when you hear this, I want you to hear when you see this, or vice versa. Are you noticing anything here that sounds familiar? In 1992, Venezuela becomes the third richest country in the Western Hemisphere. In 1997, Venezuelans become the second largest purchaser of F-150s. 2001, Venezuela voted for a socialist president to address income inequality and wokeness, and just to really like equity, and just to make sure that we're on the same page and that we're all supporting each other and just really kind of loving each other. And just look, if you need to rob a store, it's okay because we know that you need to do it. Okay, so it's all about acceptance and inclusion. Okay, no, it's not actually. That's really one of the dumbest things, but that's for another conversation. So 2007, all higher education becomes free. You heard that one lately? Yeah, we're going to make all our colleges free. Watch this one. 2009, socialists banned private ownership of guns. You heard that one lately? Yeah, a lot of bad things going on. But how do you control a country if they have weapons? You don't. You need to get them, or at least find out where those people are living by putting them on a national registry. But that's a conversation for another day. 2012, Bernie Sanders said Venezuelans are living the American dream better than the Americans. Wow. 2014, opposition leaders are imprisoned. 2016, food shortages become widespread. 2017, the Constitution and elections are suspended. Does that sound familiar? 2019, Venezuelans massacred by their own government. Does that sound like that it's too far off? Don't want to go off on a big rant on that, but it is true. Okay. Now, the regulation that's coming to crypto, it scares me because of the CBDCs. Now, I said earlier, is it the angel coin or is it the coin of the devil? Actually, I said, is it the coin of the devil? I don't know. If it's a CBDC is a digital currency, the central bank of the United States is going to give us access to a central bank digital currency. Yay. Okay. Now, I want you to think about this. The privacy thing, I know people hear privacy and we just, blah, blah, blah. We don't even think about it. But it's real now because politics are so deep and so embedded in everything that we do right now, okay? So imagine the scenario if you were voting for the wrong person and a political party that's in now decides that they don't like the person that they just left and they decide to come up with something to try to stop them from running again or try to put somebody in jail or whatever it is. If they find out that you donated to them, there's nothing wrong with that. But if they were able to label the people that they don't like as domestic terrorists and you donated to their campaign, what happens? Could they freeze every single penny that you have? Because the central bank digital currency is not your money. It is their money. It is they own it, not you. Could they freeze it because of your political situation, your political beliefs? Now, if we can label people domestic terrorists, right, then we've got you. Now, we can freeze your bank account and we can get you in line if we can label you this. That's what's tricky. That's what's coming up. So, and make no mistake about it, like that is coming up. Imagine the scenario. Your child is 5. He's going to school. The teacher is adamant that she is going to teach your 5-year-old child about his genitalia and what he can and cannot do with it if he so chooses. His choice, not yours. Now, a parent finds out that a teacher is teaching them about their genitalia. And I'm not saying they're teaching, they're adamant, like they are saying, we are going to teach these kids about their genitalia. We're going to. We're not going to take this. We're going to get in. We're going to fight for our right to be able to talk to them about their pee-pee. That's what we're going to do. With that said, if a parent stands up for that at a school board, had this thing passed, had the investigation not uncovered what was going on with the schools and the letter from the government and the coercion that was going on there, you may not even be able to say anything. And if you did say something, gotcha, freeze it. Freeze their accounts. So there's a lot of tricky stuff going on right now, okay? And I just want to say that it's something that we must investigate. Everything has an alternate perspective. We need to try to see it from the good side and the bad side so we can try to figure out what is going on. If we listen to the financial people, we're going to lose. If we listen to the people that don't, crypto's bad, it's never going to take off, it's such a loser, we're going to lose to those people too. We need to find out what we believe in, go with our own gut, and once we do that, we make our decision. But we're just as smart, we're just as knowledgeable, our instincts are just as good as any of those people out there. You turn to any crypto channel out there, and what do the people that are on the chart say? It could go up. That's right. But it could go down. See what I'm saying? Let me just say this. If you have not gone over to BitBoy Crypto's channel, if you have not watched his short film on Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and the amount of farmland that they're acquiring, you need to go over to that channel and watch this.
So that means the farmers shoulder all the risk associated with their harvest, like droughts or whether their food sells. But the landlords are guaranteed profit from both the rent and the increase in land. But farmland, that's a very specific buy. And I don't know about you, but I don't like the idea of Jeff Bezos controlling a bunch of farmland on top of owning Whole Foods and Amazon Fresh, because whoever owns America's farmland owns the food supply and the water rights associated with those properties.
Some of the short films that they're making over there at BitBoy Crypto are fantastic. They've got a great organization. You can just tell by the people that are working there that they know exactly what they're doing. They've got a goal. And if any of us that are in crypto right now should be envious of them, it's rightfully so, because they are absolutely top notch. And I got a show that's going to be coming out. It's going to be dealing with other crypto channels and some of the people that have kind of inspired me and you. A lot of you guys listen to them as well. But the short film that they have on this is fascinating. So go over to BitBoy's channel and make sure that you check that out. Anyway, if you got anything out of today's show, please hit that like or subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much for sticking with me. Oh, you probably thought about the top 5 coins. I got to tell you about those, don't I? That was kind of the tease, wasn't it? Huh.